Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video here at the Armory. So, a few of my viewers requested this video, and so I guess now it's time to go ahead and we'll do a review on the Walther PPK. So, obviously, what makes this gun such a pop culture icon is that if you know anything about history, this was the firearm that Adolf Hitler used to commit suicide. That's the only reason. That's the only reason why this firearm is very popular. Okay, with that being said, empty magazine, finger extension, just so that I can hold it in my hand better, and it is unloaded. So, obviously, all joking aside, the reason why this firearm is such a huge pop culture icon is because it is the sidearm of James Bond. So all the way from Dr. No to Tomorrow Never Dies, which was Pierce Brosnan's second Bond film, he uses it through about half of the movie, but then he switches to the Walther P99 when he gets to China. So, and then they bring it back with Daniel Craig's outing in Quantum of Solace, but it's only shown for like half, for like 10 minutes or so at the end of the film, and then he starts to carry this, more often. So, one of the cool features about the Walther PPK, this is the Smith & Wesson version, the PPK-S. Now, what that means is to get around the importation laws of the United States, they developed a point system back in the I think it was the 60s or the 70s. The traditional Walther PPK was actually a little bit smaller than this, and it only holds 6 rounds of 32 ACP. Whereas this one is the 380 auto version. This holds 7 rounds. How to get around the importation laws? They took the PP frame, which was the first model. They took the PP frame right through here and then put the PPK slide on top, which added 1 extra ounce in order to allow this to be imported into the United States of America. Do I really think it was necessary? No. Because then Walther, just most recently, about, a handful of years ago, actually opened up their own firearms manufacturing company here in the United States. Then they produced the traditional PPK, but now, just for a little Walther knowledge out there, they came out in the middle to end of November and stated that they are not going to be producing the Walther PPK for a lengthy period of time. They said that they're discontinuing the model, and it's a multi-year pause. So just so everyone is aware, that does not mean they're discontinuing the model completely. What they're trying to do is maybe modernize it just a little bit more. What that entails, I do not know. But if you can get your hands on a Walther PPK-S or just the traditional PPK at a decent price, I would say pick it up. But unfortunately, at my local gun stores, they're going for $800 to $900. So if you can find one cheaper than that, definitely pick this up. I bought this years ago when Smith & Wesson was importing these through Walther. So this guy is actually quite a bit old, and I only spent at the time, I think I bought this gun for like $600, and now it's amazing that probably just even on the used market, this would probably go for a little bit of money. So one of the cool things about the Walther PPK is that this is a double action, single action pistol with a safety decocker. So I'll show you guys that right here. So what happens when you decock it, there's a little metal bar in there that actually flips so that prevents the hammer from hitting the firing pin. Very Very similar to what the Beretta does, only the Beretta, the firing pin actually rotates out of the way and the hammer just slams home. So, yes, this firearm in particular, the Walther PPK, was produced in Nazi Germany during the Second World War. But these in particular, the PPKs, were more issued to, like high officers in the Third Reich. I'm like, for example, we know that Adolf Hitler had one. I'm pretty sure that Himmler had one, and several other people probably below that probably had one. Most of the officers that were on the battlefield probably never carried this in particular. They were more, they were carrying more of like the Walther P38, which was their 9mm, like 8 or 9 round shot firearm back then. Plus, they also carried the traditional Luger. Uh, so the Walther PPK didn't really probably see that much action during World War II. It was only really designed to be at the time back in the back in 1939 and into 1940 or 40. It's either 40 or 41 when the PPK came around. 1939, the PP was released, and that stood for police pistol. Well, the K version stood for detective model. So, what these were generally designed to be for was a policeman's firearm because they were easy to conceal, and the detective model was definitely even easier to conceal further. But obviously, as we all know, what made this gun such a big, huge hit was the famous scene in Dr. No when James Bond switches out his Beretta for the Walther PPK, 7.65 mil with a delivery like a brick through a plate glass window. Takes a brushed silencer with very little reduction in muzzle velocity. But in all reality, even the Walther PPK, when it's shown in the movie, you don't really see very much screen time with it. It got more screen time in From Russia with Love and then onward. In Doctor No, they used like a variety of firearms, but either way, it still does not take away from the fact that this gun is synonymous with James Bond. Do I personally conceal carry this firearm? On occasion, I usually will either carry it in my VersaCarry holster. It's a nice, it's a nice little thin package right there to wear on the waist, or I carry it in my reproduction shoulder holster right here. A little story about this holster. I don't know if the guy still is selling these on Amazon, but I'm pretty sure you can still find them. This was actually made off of the original screen used prop that they constructed for Spectre. So the Daniel Craig version. So you can see it's got the elastic band, it's got everything. So this is molded off of that. So I think the guy who I bought it from was definitely overseas, but either way, I just bought it off Amazon and it was pretty cool at the time. Excuse me. So, what do you get with the Walther PPK? Well, I got rid of the box a long time ago, but you would generally get 2 magazines with it. You get the finger rest and you get the flat one. The gun will fit in my hand with the flat magazine, but just barely. But it is still comfortable enough to actually point and shoot. But obviously, the finger rest is way better because you can definitely see that extra space right there, and that allows me to get a better perch on here. Another thing that Smith & Wesson did, or Walther did, one or the other, when it came to the frames, they actually extended the beaver tail right here a little bit more to prevent from getting hammer bite. So that was definitely something that was very much needed. So as I said, this is a double action, single action design. Double action, meaning that you can pull the trigger, and then it would go to single action, and then you just go from there. In order to take this gun down, it's actually very, very straightforward, and it's actually pretty cool when you think about it. So we'll go ahead and we'll show you guys this real quick. So obviously, right now we've got a unloaded firearm. We'll do that one more time. So how you take this gun down is you take the trigger guard right here and you swing it off to the side so it just, kind of hangs on the frame right there a little bit. And then you pull back on the slide, lift up, and then slide it all forward. And then that is it. If you want to go a little bit further, you would just take the guide rod off, and then you would just, clean all your spots across here and there. But either way, I don't need to really take off the whole thing at this point. So for that being said, go ahead and move the trigger guard out of the way. And then we just go ahead and slide this back on. You got to get everything lined up because you got to get the barrel to go inside the hole. There we go. So, one more time. I'll show you guys in case I was off camera a little bit. So, what you do is you get it lined up. There we go. And then you just put that rest right there. And then there you go. Fully functional firearm. Once again, locks open on a empty magazine. The only time that you ever see James Bond really have a slide lock and you see him unload it is the scene in The Living Daylights after he is fighting Brad Whitaker and he runs out of ammo, and then General Pushkin comes in and saves the day. And after they catch General Koskov, he then reaches over and you see him hold his PPK and he kind of fiddles with it on the bottom. So I don't know if it was the European design where the mag release would be on the bottom. So he hits it and you can see the mag come out, and then he'll pull it and then slap the mag back in. So that's just a nice little tidbit information. If you guys want to watch that film, at the end, you will definitely see James Bond work the firearm after a slide lock. So guys, I hope this video was a nice little fun video for you guys. I'm really sorry that I haven't been releasing a whole lot of videos lately, but unfortunately the holidays and the weather is getting pretty bad out here. But the holidays are coming up, so things are going to slow down a little bit. But as long as you guys will just hang in there with me, the videos are going to start coming back up pretty soon. I'm going to start producing more content. I'm going to get some shooting videos out there again. And believe me, I got plenty of plans for the channel. It's just right now the weather is not cooperating and it is the holiday season. So this is the time to spend with family and also just really reflect on everything that God does for us and what He has done for you. So thank you guys for watching, and I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, I'm going to be producing videos for Rumble. I hope you guys will come and join me over there. And I'm hoping to get a podcast launching here pretty soon. So thank you guys very much for your support. Thank you guys very much. I love you guys. Thank you, and have a good day.